In a world where no one speaks English, Teacher Brett attempts to get them to circle. Battle of the Mouse.
Hello, it is Teacher Brett here with Gogokid, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining us. If you have not yet subscribed, go and do that now, right now. Come on, press the little button. Means a lot to me. Doesn't mean much to you, but it means a lot to me, so press it. Today, I wanted to talk about how to get the students to click or circle in Gogokid's interactive classroom. So I did a video about this a while back when I was with a different company, and it was about how to get the student to circle. So some of those same tips apply. You can go find that and watch it. But Gogokid has what we call an interactive classroom. So it's really important that you get the students to click on things. There'll be things they can click. It will sing the song, things will move, they can play different games, and also get them to circle. So that's when they would actually be drawing on the screen. You could have them circle something or write something. So these are two tools that we're going to want them to use in the classroom. If you're in Gogokid's interactive classroom and you're a new teacher, you might not be aware that the student is only going to have access to the tool that you select. So we have two tools that we're going to be using and that we're going to talk about today. You have the little arrow clicker button. That's what you need to click on all the interactive features. And you have the pencil. And that's the tool you would have to have selected in order for you or the student to draw on the screen. So those two tools you're going to have to go back and forth with in the classroom. So it is a little bit tricky, takes a little bit of getting used to. If you have not yet accessed the practice classrooms, definitely do that and practice that a little bit before class. So let's talk about these two tools. First tool is circling. The circling tool is just either the student's going to use their mouse, or if they're on an iPad, they'll use their finger, and they can actually write or draw directly on the screen. The clicker tool, same thing. They're going to use their mouse or their finger to just click or touch the item on the screen that they need to use. So how do I get the student to do this? This is especially difficult with our younger level, beginning level students. This would be the trials like it is red, or fruit, but really any of the trials, because this is the student's first experience with Gogokid in the classroom. It can take them a little bit of time. Once they get into the regular core classes, by that point, they usually have a pretty good understanding of what they're supposed to be doing after they take a class or two. If you're teaching a K1, that beginning level, those first couple of lessons, you might need to spend a little bit of time on that. One of the nice things about those K-level lessons, though, are they're not as many slides. So you have the time to spend to make sure the student understands how to use those tools in those first couple of lessons. A lot of people are like, these lessons are so simple. Yes, they are simple, those first few lessons. The reason they're simple, though, is partly so that you can take time helping them understand the different tools in the classroom and how the classroom works. So let's talk about how we get them to do that. Number one thing is modeling. So go back to your ESL strategies. First strategy you want to do is modeling. So I will show the student what I want them to do. So if I'm wanting them to draw on the screen, I will actually go ahead and draw on the screen. Usually I'll scribble all over the screen so that they really get it. I'll scribble everywhere and just try and get them to make a mark on the screen. So that is usually my first attempt. Scribble everywhere and model for it, see if they can follow you. If you're not getting any response from that, what you can then do is you can show the student some kind of prop. So use your second ESL strategy, props. This could be you could hold up the mouse. Some people will make a sign that says, circle or click, something like that, but a sign is helpful for that. Keep in mind,
First round, the Jeopardy Route.
keep in mind that the student can use an iPad or a computer. A lot of times it'll say in the chat box what they're using. If not, you can usually tell if they're on an iPad because it's moving around. But I will usually, when I'm first trying to figure it out, I'll usually kind of show them the mouse and show them me clicking, and I can usually tell if they're going for a mouse or if they're going for the screen. So that could be two different things that they're on. So you can model, show them. Props. I oftentimes will use my phone. If I figure out that they're on an iPad, I'll show them, my phone. Doot, 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 doot. Or maybe you have an iPad nearby that you can show them. If they're on, the mouse, I will show them click, 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 or circle. So model, use your props. One tip that usually almost always works for me if I cannot get them is I have an external camera. So I will just take my camera off the screen and I will turn it around so that it's facing my computer and it'll be on the classroom and I'll show them me touching the screen. Ooh, doesn't that look cool? I will show them me touching the screen or I will show them me clicking so they can actually see that I'm doing something. That works a lot of times. If you do not have an external camera, you can use a mirror. So a couple of the teachers in my workshop said they use a mirror. So they do the same thing. They kind of hold the mirror up so that the student can see in there and they'll show the student. This is going to take some practice if you're doing this, but you can show them that you're touching the screen or circling on the screen with a mirror. So that might be an option for you as well. Next tip and strategy I use is that chat box. Remember, one of the best features about our classroom is that chat box translates. So if you, especially if there's a parent nearby, you can write in the chat box, circle or draw. I usually write draw if I'm wanting them to actually draw on the screen because that translates to hua, which is draw. That's a really quick, easy translation the parents usually pick up. And you may hear the parents telling the student hua, hua. They're saying draw so that the student knows how to draw. So that will usually work, or I will just say, click the mouse or click the screen. Or touch the screen. I'll put it right there in the chat box. If you put it in English, it's going to translate over to Chinese if the parent realizes that they can use the chat box. Wait time is my next tip. Very important to give the student wait time. Don't rush it. You've got plenty of time. In those trials, remember, if you don't get through the slides, not a big deal. Beginning K-level courses where they're usually having some issue with this, shorter amount of slides, they're learning high. They're saying that over and over and over again. So you've got time to play around with this and make sure they understand. So I will provide some wait time. Don't give up too quickly. Let there be a bit of an awkward pause. You want there to be an awkward pause. You want the student, you want it to click for them. Oh, the teacher's waiting for me to do something. What is she waiting for me to do? Okay, what's the teacher doing? Okay, I'm watching the teacher showing me something. You want that awkward pause. If there's no awkward pause, they don't realize that you're asking them to do anything. They're just like, yeah, okay, I don't understand what's going on, but that's all right. Teacher's still talking. I'm just going to watch. So you want that awkward pause. You want that wait time in the classroom. You don't want too much though. If they're really not picking it up, move on. Sometimes it'll take me 3, 4, 5 slides, for them to get it. I usually will try it. If I can't get them, I'll move on to the next slide. Maybe 2 slides later or so, I'll try again. So I will keep trying. If they're not getting it, you go ahead and you circle, you click, you can adapt the lesson to work for that in the meantime while you're waiting for them to understand, but keep trying. Don't give up too soon. As a final resort, let's say you go through the whole lesson, you've tried all of your tricks, you are not getting it, they're not picking up on it, leave it in the feedback. So when you go to write your student feedback, leave them a little message, hey, make sure that Jojo knows he can draw on the screen, or make sure Jojo knows he can use the mouse to click the things in the screen. It'll make class better for him, or whatever. Let the parent know in the feedback so that they can do that. If you've had a few classes with a student, I've never had a few classes with a student and them not be able to eventually pick it up. But if you've had a few that happens, I would send a ticket. And the Chinese teacher can reach out to the parent and make sure that they know that they can click or they can draw on the screen. So those are some of my tips there to make sure that you can get that student to write or draw on the screen. It does get easier. Some students pick it up quicker than others. It's okay. You can adjust it while you're waiting. Keep trying. Use your props, use your modeling, use your wait time to get them to understand that in the classroom.
Hold up!
Some of the really little ones, if you get, a 3, 4-year-old in class, and they're on a computer, they might just not have the physical, fine motor strength or whatnot to work a mouse yet. So keep that in mind as well. You will have some kids who aren't there. They're just not able to if they're on a computer. I find they have a much easier time if they're on an iPad because they can just click. But if you have a little one on a computer, they just might not be able to do that. So if if they're that little, there's a parent sitting nearby, and I usually will have them point to it and have the parent circle on the screen if I can get them to understand that they can help that way. So a lot of times the parents will help. Again, that'd be a great place for feedback. I understand JoJo can't use the mouse. If she points and you circle, that will work out really well in the classroom. Let them know so that you can work something out like that.